Hey, what's up, everybody? Can you put power poles on a Yaesu 891? In today's video, we're going to get right into it and show you that it's very possible. Everybody's doing it. Okay, not everybody. All the cool kids, though. But no, really, for some people, it makes a lot of sense to switch them out from the standard factory Yaesu power plug to power poles. If you're moving your radio a lot, or it's your mobile rig and you're always setting it up and breaking it down, sometimes it makes sense to try and do a power modification. A couple things to remember. One, I take no responsibility. If you do it, that's on you. I love you guys, but I'm not buying you a new radio because you do something neat. However, number two, it's going to void your warranty. No ifs, ands, or buts. If your radio is under 3 years old and you have a current Yaesu warranty, I wouldn't do it. That's my opinion. I don't recommend this. However, it is cool and I'm doing it. So with all that, we'll get into it, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so here's underneath the bench of my truck. You can see it's back seat. Once you get underneath, first thing you got to do is remove the power source. So now this power plug that we got is going to be replaced, and the Anderson power poles are actually going to be in there. So I've already removed my power source. Now I'll unscrew my antenna. My ground, I replaced my traditional ground lug. It's normally a hex key. I replaced it with a matching thread thumb screw because my 891 has always been a mobile rig for me. I've always used it traveling and going, and even before I had my DX10, my 891 was coming in and out of the shack all the time. And with it moving in and out of the shack all the time, it was just way easier not to have to mess with the ground wire. All right, so I've also removed, this is the remote head cable that I made, and here is my remote mic cable. Remember, you can make up your own cables. Your remote head unit sending cable, it is actually a Cat 3 cable. So you can use Cat 5 wire, but you're only going to use 6 strands or 3 pair, however you'd like to look at that. And then your mic cable is a Cat 6, so it actually uses all 8. I don't understand it. Doesn't make sense to me. Seems like there'd be more data moving across the remote head unit, but hey, whatever, it works. So you can buy these plugs, your Cat 3 cable plugs. You can buy these at Home Depot, Lowe's, both sell them. And of course, you can just buy prefab Cat 5 cable or Cat 6 cable anywhere. Just buy the right length for you. And then if you can find a spool of Cat 3 cable, that's great. Typically it's flat line, so it'll be really flat instead of a circle. If you can find it, that's great. If not, just buy Cat 5 and only use 6 wires. Just make sure you look at your current piece and wire it correctly. But that's what I did. Works great. Now I just got to remove the screws. I'm waiting on my order to come in of more thumb screws. That way I can have these set up. But I'm going to have to use my wrench. I'm not going to make you watch that. We've got a socket. And I'm just going to remove 4 of these. No need for y'all to watch all that. I'll come back to you in a minute. Hey, what's up, everybody? Justin Kiki for CIA. I got my, oh God, sorry about that. I got my 891 inside. Like I said, we're replacing the standard Yaesu, and it's pretty much everybody's standard power plug now. Pain in the butt to get out. If you travel a lot, you know how much these things just become the bane of your existence. Getting them in and out of cases It's huge. It takes up a lot of room, and you don't think about it taking up room, but if you try and fit your radio somewhere, that's the profile of the bottom or the back of your radio. So we now have this connection that sticks out there, and now we have 2 power wires. Let me make sure that's focusing. 2 power wires going to 1. 2 grounds going to a single. So they doubled the redundancy for intake coming off the plug, but nobody feeds the plug with 4 wires. Everybody just feeds it with 2, and most people use power poles. So why not just put power poles on the back of your radio? As you can tell, my inline fuses aren't in this. My LiPro 4 battery that I just have my fuse block. I have that it has power poles on either side of it, but it pretty much stays attached to the battery. And then for my truck, in my mobile mount, at the battery, I fused there. So everywhere I go, I've got fuses. So I didn't need to leave them in line here. But yeah, you can see like my problem specifically. I'll try and show you here. If you look at the connection joint right there, you can see that because of the wiggling and jiggling, you can see kind of how my wires are bent and twisted. That's not me holding them and twisting them. That's just the natural shape of the wires. Not a great connection anymore. Hadn't caused me any issues, but not a great connection. So what we're using today, I'll throw that to the side. Let me move the camera. And I've never done this before, so pardon me while I set this up. So now for what we're doing today. This is the power pole mod. So when we're done, on the outside of the radio, we will have this pretty little block and the power pole sitting just beyond flush here, but below the heat sinks. So that's going to clean up the radio so much. All right, guys. So, yep, like I was saying, this will be the only piece that's showing. Oops. This will be the only piece that's showing on the outside of the radio. This goes on the inside of the radio. Power poles will come through it. Like that. And then this will pin it like that. And it will make a beautiful fit like that. So I've never taken a radio apart before, so you're going to get to walk with me on that journey too. The guy I got them from, his name's Jason Wang. I'll leave the link to where you can get yours from him in the description box. You can also get them on through Thingiverse. The plans are everywhere online. Just download them and go. If you got a 3D printer, if you don't have a 3D printer, you can order them from him. So to get this going, you got to remove the side screws from both sides of the radio. And the 4 bottom screws, and then the bottom plate of your radio will come off. So I'm going to start with the 4 bottom screws. And again, I've never taken a radio apart, so you're walking with me on that journey. Ha. Old bourbon cup will work. I think this goes without saying that the second you open up your radio, you're going to void your warranty. I'm not recommending you do this. I am not going to be responsible if you do this and it goes wrong. It might go wrong for me. I don't know. I hope not. You know, pretty simple from everything I've read and looked at. All of these screws are the same, so it doesn't matter if you intermingle them. It is a P1 Phillips head screwdriver. Alright, so now my back case should just slide backwards just a hair, and it lifts off seamlessly. I'll set that to the side. And now if you look at the plug here, right, coming in on the outboard side of the radio, you have your two hot wires, which if you look are extremely thin gauge wire on the inside. On the outside, they're leading you to believe they're using this big thick wiring, but then on the inside of the plug, they took it down to like a 18 or a 20 gauge wire. So it's obvious that the extra two wires for the plugs, it needed. But all you're gonna do to remove it, one, remember, positive is on the outboard, negative is on the inboard, and then start unscrewing. This is one of those moments where having tiny hands would be wonderful. Unfortunately, that's not what I have. All right, so now we're loose, unscrewed both adapters, and on the bottom of the plug, nope, it's the sides. So these sides right here, you actually have to squeeze them in a little bit and then push the plug into the radio. So we're gonna have to push in each side right here and then push the plug into the radio, and we'll actually remove it coming into the radio this way. Hey guys, just doing a quick voiceover. Just wanted to let you know, I'm shooting this in real time. The video currently, like right now, is like 12 minutes and 40 seconds or so, and uncut. I wanted to see, the first time I've ever opened a radio, I wanted to show you what it's taken to do it, and I'm sorry that some of it seems a little maybe long and drawn out, but this is real time, unedited, and I hope you can appreciate that. But you know, you can tell I fumble with it some, but it's all for the better, I guess. Got this side, and you make sure you don't mess up anything. You want to be pretty cautious with it. And there we go, started to move. Just like that. Guys, I'll leave that real time. I don't want to seem like I'm making it seem simpler than it is. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt because it's not a solid piece. You can see here. So this is the end that came through the radio. And it's not solid in the middle. So if you press down on this side, it doesn't move the bottom tab. So you have to press down on both sides at the same time and then work it, which is whatever. Not the worst thing in the world. So if you look at the inside of this or the outside, you can see the shape. Notice how it's got a notch coming down. Just want to match everything up. The ones that come from the power pole adapter kits that come from Jason Wang, they already have 3D printed in them. They're not 3D printed, but he 3D printed in the nut spot. So the nut is reset and flushed. You can see the nut right there. And he includes that, and he includes the screw. And the screw's an Allen, looks like it's a 2.5 maybe. But yeah, so this is going to go down, and your notches are going to go towards the back of the radio. Remember, our positive side was towards the outboard of the radio, this side. And right here, if you look right past that lead, you can see it says red and black, just in case you're missing it. Once you get it in, you put your screws in. And that one's in there pretty securely. And now the front will screw on here. And I've got to go get an Allen key. I'll be right back. That was real time right there. Yep, I was right. It's a 2.5 Allen key. I'm just checking to make sure these power poles are seated properly. And this is a tight fit, guys. I don't know if you can hear it, but it sounds like I'm cutting threads into the plastic while we do this, which I don't mind at all. All right, guys, that's it. And that's what it looks like on the back side. So, pretty good fit. I'll let you know how everything goes. I'll get the top lid buttoned back up. I don't think you need to watch me do that again. And once I get everything buttoned back up, we'll go back to the truck. We'll plug everything in, and we'll see how we go. Yep. All right, guys, here we are. We're back in the truck. Got the power poles installed. You can see them. Woohoo! We're about to bolt this thing in, and I'm not going to make you watch that again. You know, you can figure out how to screw something in. You don't have to follow me for that one. I'll follow you when I connect the power. Before I connect the power, I'll come back to video, and we'll capture what happens on air. All right, guys, got everything buttoned up. I even decided to add some ferrite chokes. On my grounds and my antenna. Maybe that'll reduce any of the chopping noise I hear when my truck's running, and I won't have to run my noise blanker. But I'll be quiet and connect power for the first time. Here we go. That's good. I heard a relay clack. All right, we'll move up to the front seat, and we'll see if it turns on. I connected everything, got the remote mic cable, the remote head cable, the antenna. I don't have an antenna on right now, but we'll be able to see if the radio's functioning without it. Looks like we're good to go. All right, guys. This is KQ4CIA. I'm Blackbeard's radio. We just did the power pole modification. Total time is, I don't know. I tried to look at my phone. Sorry, I don't wear a watch. But the total time in this whole project was probably 45 minutes, and that includes filming and me having to go get extra tools. Again, if you want your own power pole kit, link will be in the description. Other than that, 73 guys, be safe.